So I'm going to go through a presentation right now. That was the overview, pretty much of my introduction. I guess one more story would be that, where this started was last year. I was having coffee with a national cross checker and a major league team that I'm friends with. And I started looking at the system that this particular club was using and started asking questions around why aren't pitchers being graded out in a more metric-oriented way that's simple for the scouts to use, that calculates all the notes that we as scouts would have to go into our winter meetings or our draft meetings and try to become almost like car salesmen. No offense to car salespeople, but you'd have to really sell your player based on your own subjective notes. And I was just shocked that in 2020, 2019, that there wasn't a system in place where everything was calculated and rolled up. So I'm going to go ahead and share a screen now. This is an overview to where I really break down what this app is all about on paper so you guys can see it. And then I'll go ahead and go through what it's like grading a player out in the actual app. So the Scout Hub app is available to download for free on the App Store. There's obviously some subscription levels to it, but just know that as you're watching this whole app, everything that's included, especially in the gold feature, is less than $10 a month. Okay, and there's various other levels based on what you would need this app for. So here's our app. So the new Baseball Coaches Scouting app. The Scouting app was created by MLB scouts for baseball coaches to evaluate and scout their players and future recruits. It's customizable, so the youth coach to the most advanced pro scout can use it and tailor the reports based on their knowledge of the game and level of play. It eliminates paper scout forms, you can create new teams, capture player videos, and much more. So why did we develop the Scouting app? Well, baseball's evolved. This was created by pro scouts. I kind of went into that in the very beginning, but I wanted to build something that was customizable where all coaches could use a legitimate digital platform to scout their players with education behind the system that would make it really easy. It rolls up. You don't have to be an expert in scouting by any means. You can scout based on your own knowledge of the game, and a system that allows the Division II coach to go scout players with what that coach needs in comparison to, say, what a Division I college coach might be looking for. So let's say, for example, the Division I college coach is looking for 92 mile an hour fastball being average, 93 being plus, and so on all the way up the scale. The Division II college coach is looking for an 89 mile an hour fastball being average, 90 being plus, and so on and so on. So that Division II college coach can go out and grade players based on what that coach has set in the back end of the system for his scout cards as average, all the way up through the scale, 8 to 2, and go out and find players. So now that Division II coach is going and finding plus players, excellent players, outstanding players at his level or her level, but maybe at the Division I level, maybe that's a below average player or an average player at the Division I level. So it really allows the Division II coach, the high school coach, the youth coach to scout at their levels based on their own criteria. And again, imagine working with the scout, the pro teams, where maybe you're looking for a left-handed dominant pitcher that's 95 with a plus breaking ball. I mean, who isn't looking for that type of pitcher? But maybe the other team is looking for more of a slider, cut fastball guy, sitting 92, 93, with a little bit more movement, a little bit more life to the fastball. So you can customize this thing to really identify what you're looking for. And it's been tested with an MLB team, and the results were astounding. So, we really wanted to make this app as detailed as an MLB team scout system, or keep things simple and just evaluate the 5 tools in an athlete's game. So the separators, I've searched the market. It's what I did for 10 years in the corporate side. Identified competitive analysis on different products, who's the competition in different product fields. I did the same thing on the event side, identify weak areas of, say, a competitor's area of business, and then obviously what maybe our area of weakness was. So I went into a vast amount of research into the online marketplace, looked at who the competitors would be on, say, a baseball scouting app or evaluating app, and there really isn't anything compared to this. So this app was built by MLB scouts, and there's old school subjective scouting to new school objective scouting methods. Coaches from every skill level, from youth to the pro scout, can use this app. The back-end features are more advanced than most MLB scouting systems used by scouts today. Most scouting systems, really advanced in the analytical metric categories, but the subjective has really stayed the same. So when you grade a pitcher out, for example, and I'll show you towards the end of this, when you grade a pitcher out, my system is way more in depth on grading actual individual pitches out and how that rolls up into an overall grade than anything out there. The back-end features, full scouting system, capturing player data, scouting criteria, player videos. You can capture player videos more than any other app in the market. It generates rankable player reports, customized for coaches to scout at their level of play and knowledge of the game. Scouting, it's got scouting content, helping coaches evaluate players. So we'll be posting videos where we'll be breaking down pitchers and hitters. And, it's really more like going to scout school. So we want to be able to help the youth scouts or maybe future scouts, coaches, identify key areas that they should be paying attention to when evaluating their players. So to take full advantage of this system and more. Basically, we're going to go into some of the features in this app. So you can obviously create your own team. You can create multiple teams. So if you're a Division I coach or a college coach in recruiting, JC, even a high school coach going out to recruit players for the travel team or whatever that would be, you can create these teams. You can set each roster. Each team can be a different age group. So say 2022 class, 2023 class. You can name your team, whatever you want to name it. But basically, there's a create your own team feature. And then you create your own players. So there's a full version to this where you're creating the players, maybe before you go out to a showcase, you have a roster sheet. So you're putting in the players you already know you're going to look at. And then there's a quick scout feature where when you're at the game and all of a sudden you see that shortstop just make a really nice play and you like what you're seeing, but you only know that he's playing for, say, CBA, he's number 14, and it's CBA Johnson or whatever that team would be, you can actually quick scout him, put his general information in, and not lose much time in looking, and watching, say, it takes maybe a pitch or two pitches to put that player in. So create your players, first, last name, high school grad year, bat handedness, throw handedness. You can get more in depth with secondary positions, primaries, jersey numbers, birth dates, all those things that you're going to want as a coach. And then you start to build your own database. So, this is an example database. Obviously, we've got some just fake names that I threw up there, graded some players out, but you can see where, like, Paul Bevtori is a pitcher. I've graded him out. He's a 5.13 on my scale. That's 5 is average, 6 is plus, 4 is below average, 7 is excellent, 8 is outstanding, and so on. Hal Frankfurt, another pitcher, and then you got Greg Haynes. It's a left fielder, 5.48, and you got Jack Lamson that plays two positions, a center fielder and second baseman. So you can actually grade him out per position. On what you feel, if he's playing center for 3 innings and goes to second base, you can create 2 different reports. Each of these players you can create multiple reports on and capture video and so on. So you scout and evaluate your players. I've made this super simple and easy. It's literally from the flick of your thumb. You're just moving your thumb around. If you don't want something on there, you wipe it off and so on. But each category, say in the defensive position players, or say from the pitcher, you're just scrolling and you're adding, and so usable power, raw natural power, future home run ability, exit velocity. So in different subscription levels, obviously there's more to this. So there's the bronze free version. I'll go through this, the bronze paid version. the silver version and the gold version. The gold version has everything from metrics to all the back end fun system stuff that a pro scout or high-end college coach might want, or a JC coach. If you're using metrics, any coach that's using metrics and wants that objective and subjective, the gold version is great. Travel ball coaches that run programs, where they're capturing that type of data. The silver system is really the most ideal platform for your travel ball coaches, high school coaches that may not be running or testing with metrics. So there's a lot to this. Capturing player video. So I can capture player video. I can be scouting this catcher, on the subjective side and putting his numbers in. And then now I'm going to get his pop time. So I just click the button down on the bottom, which allows me to either add a video reel that I've already taken. So let's say I'm watching a pitcher on the side and I capture some bullpen stuff. So I want to add a couple of those videos in. I can just go ahead and add those in, or I can capture it live right there and then go ahead and save it right into that player profile. Now, from the customization of your scout card settings, each team. So if I'm a high school coach, or let's say a college coach, and I'm doing a Division III, 3 different recruiting cards. So I've got a class 2021, class 2022, and a class 2023 card. I want all those cards to have a little bit different metric to it. So maybe I want my 2021 class to have an average velocity reading, fastball velocity reading at 92 being average. And then I want my class 22 class to have a 90 mile an hour average. And then I want a class, say 2023 class, to have an 87 or 88 being average, right? So I can customize my scout cards, and that goes the same for exit velocity and barrel speed and pop time. So if I'm looking at a catcher 2021 and I want a 1.95 guy as excellent or outstanding, I can set those parameters within the settings side. So we have partner deals, pro team deals, pro team evals, which is what I went over in the beginning. We can edit the teams. You can manage your subscriptions. There's all kinds of features here in the settings menu. And if you just download it on iTunes for free, you'll be able to go in and see everything that this application has to offer. So one of my favorite parts that I created was the ability to create reports. Okay, so I wanted to be able to rank my reports out. And this stems from the hours and hours and hours that I would spend with my scouting directors and national cross-checkers in the war room. And we're talking about players, and we've got 1,500 players all over the country. And maybe I'm just focused on the West Coast, for example. All these magnets are all over the place. And I know it's advanced a little bit since then. And then again, maybe it hasn't. But basically what I put in here is the ability to create your own filters on what you're looking for. So let's say, for example, you're looking for class 2022 catchers, left-handed batters, roll grades of over, say, 5.5 or 6. You're looking for plus guys, and any team. So you could, maybe it's just one team, two teams, but if you're going to run a report, run them on all of them. You go ahead and hit generate report, and basically this interactive report. Actually, this is a picture report. It comes color coded, so the metrics are all color coded to where if it's an average grade, then you're seeing more of a orangish color. Obviously, the green is plus, and the red is below average metrics. So this gives you a really nice visual aid. So whereas you're adding in all these metrics, and again, there's more metrics to this, and there's more metrics that can be added into this. Imagine now you're running this report and you're seeing all this color coded. So now I'm looking at things and I'm saying, well, Steve Hills, he looks pretty good. I mean, although his actual roll is a 5.58, he's got really what I'm looking for. I'm looking for a power fastball guy with an excellent arm action. Paul Beftori looks pretty good too, but he's got a below average changeup. But hey, Steve Hills, his cutter is below average, but he's got an average slider. He's got plus deliveries. So you can filter all of these out to where if I'm just looking at pure fastballs, I can filter those guys out. Changeups, if I'm looking at just sole delivery guys, that I want to look at, I can filter it. All those columns are all filterable, and you can generate all that stuff, have some fun. So the training content, like I had said, we're going to be adding scouts commentary and videos, just breaking some guys down like we're doing with Zoom. So we're literally getting started. So it'll be interesting to see where we are, 6 months from now. Here's the subscription model. This is going to blow your mind. So comparing the plans, the bronze free, you got player database for your scouted players, 5 players, grade your player tools out, in basically like 15 data fields. Okay. And so it doesn't have all the bells and whistles, but it definitely has enough for you youth to, travel ball coaches that are really looking just to, grade out their players, and so on. So input player notes, that's another feature I forgot to mention, was that, you can input player notes on each of those sections, and I'll show you here in a minute. You can capture 1 video per player. Now the bronze paid version, so you get in there, you try it for free, you like it, but the bronze feature allows you really to have a team in that. 15 players, 15 data fields, 3 videos now per player, and you get discounts on some of our partner products and programs, which we're running with Under Armour, BSN, and some others. So your silver, this is the best value. So it's the $5.99 per month, and that's not $599. It's not $59, but it's literally $5.99 per month. You get 30 players in your database, 36 fields of data, 6 videos per player. So this is perfect for any college team, any high school team, any maybe a couple travel teams. If you're running 2 travel teams, it's great for you to use this. You can generate these reports. You're scouting your players. You're showing your players. Like one coach I spoke to did their whole pitching staff, and then showed the player, sat right there, showed the pitcher where he was deficient in certain areas of the game. They worked at things in those areas. He went back about a month later and tried this out. So these were part of the sample groups that I've been working with. And then the gold feature. So I'm sorry, let me go back to silver. So you get 6 videos per player. You get the discounts. You get player role grades calculated based on the position now. So that's the difference between the bronze and the silver. So now the silver, if I'm a catcher and I have the same grades as, say, on the bronze as a third baseman, now when you go to silver, that catcher grade is going to change a little bit based on the position. Maybe there's just, maybe the throwing component was more important than, say, the hitting component as a third baseman. So you can create custom rankable player reports. So now your rankable player reports come with the silver package. That's where you can generate your reports. You get scout development content and those features, all for $6 a month, basically. And then you get your gold feature, which is $10 a month. 60 players you get to add into your system, and you can delete players. So let's say you go to a showcase and you do a whole, you end up scouting out 43 players, but like you don't even want 35 of them. So you go ahead and delete those players. You can delete them, and you can, and it's all fine. You have 49 data fields, 12 videos per player, discounts on partner programs, role grade calculated on position, create custom rankable player reports, scout development content, ability to grade with baseball metrics like the 60-yard dash, exit velocity, and other metrics. The ability to grade with baseball analytics from, like, say, blast motion or diamond kinetics. And we'll be adding more features and programs to that as well, utilizing pocket radar and exit velocity and stuff. So really excited to be able to offer those plans to you, and give you an opportunity to really use this for what it is.